When you're planning a trip like this, you're just going into the unknown. I had this whole preconceived notion of what Türkiye was. I just thought that I'd never really find a way to fit in with Turkish culture, to be honest. I ate the foods, prayed the prayers, but didn't speak the language.
You just need a different chain to go up.
I'd had no idea my entire life that there were mountains like this in Türkiye and that the Turks did this. Coming here and finding that Turkey is so much more than tourist sites and Istanbul, and finding that there's places where I can really just be me. And it's just this other form of connection. This is just more than I could ever imagine.
I'm gonna take you for a stroll. Show you Giray Dadali residence. Here is not an outhouse, it's a honey house. People just drive by, take their honey, leave cash. Honor system works most of the time. That's my brother, Ovit, and me. It's probably the last time that he was bigger than me in his entire life. There's us fishing. Spent a lot of time as a kid on our trampoline. I'm super lucky to have the upbringing that I did. My mother, she was born in Canandaigua, New York, real nearby to Bristol. And my father, he had immigrated from Istanbul, Türkiye in the 1960s. He met my mother, and they settled in Bristol, raised all of us kids there, the 5 of us, and they still live in the same home today. It was a freaking awesome place. A lot of woods, came in about 2 miles from the ski hill, and not much to do around other than ski. And here's the fam just getting started skiing. My earliest memories of it were my mom taking me and my brother Ovit to the ski hill, and we were just dressed up in Buffalo Bills jackets, hitting the bunny slope. All we wanted to do was just jump, and she didn't even know how to ski. She just kept yelling at us like, turn left, turn right, jump.
Giray and Ovit were always very close, and so they did everything together. And then when they started skiing at Bristol Mountain, they met these other kids, and that became their crew.
Will Wesson, that's Andy.
Once the ski bug hit them, that was it.
We had this land, and my father helped us build rails back there. That was his way of connecting to us.
When Giray was younger, with his friends, they always used to come around and go to the ice skating rink, get the shavings and bring it home and make jumps out of the shavings from the ice skating.
It would be hours, sessions. At that point, the kind of skiing that they were doing was a little radical maybe, and like, wow, what are those punks doing? And look at their pants, they're below their rear ends, that type of thing.
Growing up, I never really thought of myself as a different free skier. I think that because we were all doing something that was kind of rebellious and not quite a sport yet, we all felt like misfits, that color and diversity never played a part of that. But in my life as a whole, there were major realizations that have occurred. And I'd say for me, the biggest one occurred in 2001.
This happened at about 8:45 this morning while we were on the air.
We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
At the time, I was in the hospital for meningitis. And I remember coming back to school like 2 weeks later and hearing someone say like, oh, where have you been? You know, they called me Sand followed by N-word. I know that I go to the mosque and these things and, you know, different color, got a different name than people, but I didn't know that it lent itself to being called racial names. Later on in life, I remember being 17 and pulled into the security at the airport. And it was to fly to the West Coast for a ski thing. And I was full strip searched, everything. I was like a 17-year-old kid. When you hear this is a random selection, you start to think it's not so random. There were no other skiers out there that looked like me besides my brother. I think if it was just me, maybe it would have been much harder to get into skiing. When you're going to competitions and traveling and you're seeing everyone else who looks a different way and they're the ones really excelling at it, that can be difficult. This boundary set up where it felt like this isn't for you. For me, as a child growing up, what I thought to be Turkish was completely coinciding with Islam. As children, we would go to the mosque, and that's where I would see Turkish-speaking people. I would eat Turkish cuisine. That's where I took it all in. And outside of that, I'd go back an hour away to where I lived. That was in the hills and surrounded by a very white Christian society. So I felt very torn between two different cultures. I didn't quite belong in the area that I lived and went to school with this white American community. And when I existed in the Turkish community, I didn't fully fit in with them because they knew that I had a white mother and I couldn't speak the language and I was a muppri. Being around that was really hurtful.
So you always do have a curiosity of where are you from? And it's a good thing to go and talk with the relatives, see what you like from it, what you can take from it, and what you can learn from it.
In 2015, I visited my family in Türkiye, and I went for a tour around the country. And while on a bus, I remember seeing off in the distance, there was this volcano across a big grassy field, and my mind was blown. I didn't know that there were volcanoes in Türkiye. I didn't really know the extent of mountains out there. And right there, I knew. I was like, I need to go ski this place. Originally, it started as, could I just find other skiers who were Turkish? And then it started just becoming so many more things of like, what does it even mean to be Turkish? Growing up around what I thought was Turkish, like, is this actually it? Could I find people who were like me that do the same things as me? People who saw the world maybe in the way that I did. What would they define as Turkish? I don't really know. I'm just the spawn of my father. Am I Turkish because of inheritance? Or is it something so much more than that?
Can you tell me why you're ironing?
Because my Burton flannel is very crinkled and I'm about to meet my husband's Turkish family and don't want to look like a slob, even though I would normally never, ever iron. Just the little things, right?
You sometimes have to see things for yourself. You can't always rely on what another person tells you because they're coming from a different perspective. And the opportunity that Giray had to bring with Alexa, I think, is very helpful.
It's pretty incredible. I feel like I've been in a bubble in America for so long and didn't really have the luxury to travel with my own family. To now finally have this experience with my partner is incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
The idea of going to Turkey was stimulated by that old vision of the giant volcano. But then what also came to me at the same time was, this has been a long time since I've seen my family, and they haven't even met my wife yet. We live across the whole ocean, and I want to go share my family with her and them to meet her.
There you go. Oh, nice. Yeah.
This trip to Turkey was the first time I got to introduce Alexa to my hala. In Turkish, hala means aunt, and specifically, it's your father's sister. That's everyone right there.
Yeah, that's me and Ali and Ibrahim.
I think my family had known for a long time that I would marry an American girl. When I had visited years ago, they told me in my search for a future wife that I'd have to find someone American because that's my culture. I lived there. But I think that the whole time they were very hopeful that it would be someone Turkish to help continue that legacy.
By marrying to outsiders, different cultures, that creates a very, very difficult situation, and it's a long subject.
It all gets really interesting when my father and mother have a pretty similar story to mine and Alexa's. I'm a Turkish-American man and she's an American woman.
When you do have your cultures, there may be one person that really doesn't understand everything you're getting into.
Were you worried about my dad marrying an American woman and a loss of culture? What's important for me to hang on to?
Of course, every country, every nation, every religion, they want their kids to marry with their own. You can't change that.
This was my wife's first exposure to this. And for her, like after just meeting my family and to sit through these statements was incredibly difficult.
I think the family wants what's best for Alexa and Giray. And when they say things that they don't realize is maybe a little hurtful, that it's their opinion being pushed on you. So I know the pressure that she has felt. I can understand if she has not reservations, but scared a little bit. It's scary.
Although what my hala said is difficult to hear, I have to remember that not everything is binary. I'm not full Turkish. I'm a Turkish-American. And this is mine and Alexa's union together. I think all this boils down to is my family wants to have a loving and accepting person married to their nephew. They want someone who's going to be like open to their ways, someone who's intrigued by the Turkish culture, who wants to be a part of it and share that with me. Because if they weren't, that would be where it goes to die. Being with Alexa just reminds me that it's okay for things to be mixed. The world's not black and white. We have the ability to choose and preserve what we would like. It's okay. Pull a little bit of this and a little bit of that from cultures and blend it together and create something beautiful. I had already known that there was skiing in Türkiye. My brother Ahmet had gone there about a decade ago to ski hills that were outside of Istanbul. That was, I think, just the start. To me, what really inspired myself for it was the big mountains of Türkiye. Eventually, I came across this place, Ovit Mountain. And what I saw at Ovit Mountain was these are Turkish people running their own operation. So immediately, I was obsessed. To be that passionate about starting a ski operation out there, they must be able to share something with me. I decided to reach out to Ovit Mountain and see what the whole operation was about.
This was an ancient Silk Road, and merchants from the east passed here to go to the Black Sea. In the Ottoman times, it was given to the Ekşioğlu family, and it's been with them for generations. Ovit Mountain has been a long-term investment to turn this place into a backcountry skiing opportunity for everyone.
For Ovit Mountain, we needed a guy that had their avalanche certifications. And we were just so incredibly lucky to meet Ercan.
Don't mess it up.
He's just an amazing dude, and chatting with him felt instantly at home.
I crawl.
Within just a little bit, he was like a part of our group. We were talking about the gamble on Ovit, like how that developed.
When I first heard about that, I was like, crazy guys. It's financially a big gamble to set up a building like that just for ski touring, free riding, snowmobiles, and etc. But they already proved that this might be done in Turkey. So it's also a hope for us.
On our way from Trabzon up to Ovit, we stopped in this canyon to go check out all these Turkish tea farms. It's pretty cool, this whole expanse of it. Down the canyon, starting 5 miles down there and running up through the ways, you'll find these farms sprinkled throughout the countryside. Having a local guide is super important to have the best experience possible. Up in the mountains, it's pretty obvious. They're gonna keep you away from avalanche danger, they're gonna dig pits, assess things. But outside of the mountains, having a guide is great. They're gonna allow you to mingle with the people of the region that you would normally not be able to talk with.
This is local cheese, a sort of cheddar. We call it kaşar cheese. Some local bakeries, they would like to invite us.
Super good. It's like a different version of Rubik's Cube.
Çaldım ama olsun. Bir iki tane taş attım fazladan.
Again. We'll never make it to Ovit anymore. We're stuck here. We just got out of the Ovit tunnel. Look at this. We went from no snow, beginning of the tunnel, just popped out at this right here. The first taste of the Turkish mountains. Very psyched. After so much time researching the Kachkars, this is incredible being here. It's this perfect mix of like big mountain terrain, but also some fun, playful quarter pipes and cornices around. You can just surf this thing, half pipes back and forth.
pretty excited about it all.
In North America, even if we're in vast mountain ranges, we're used to having some sort of avalanche detail out there. But in these remote mountain ranges, there's absolutely no detail to rely on. There's not a single forecaster out there that's going to tell you what to expect, what has happened, or what could be. Everything that we're doing is completely on our own.
5, 6, 7.
Fracture. Do your test. That's good.
Very good. This is not so easy to trigger, you know. It's way down in the layers. We have to be careful for these parts.
What makes this place so unique is that you can access 4,000 vertical feet of skiing within 2 miles of touring.
How do you feel when you leave your wife up top and you drop a sick line?
I guess if I leave her on top and I drop a sick line, then she's gonna go ride a sick line too. Okay.
Love you. Have fun, honey.
The catch cars is just absolutely blowing my mind. I just had no idea my entire life that there were mountains like this in Turkey and that the Turks did this.
Ercan represents everything that Giray was hoping to find in Türkiye. Here is this Turkish mountain guide that's extremely knowledgeable and passionate about being immersed in nature.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
He fully believes that everybody from all parts of the world can connect in mountains.
I was the black swan too in my family. My parents couldn't understand what I'm doing in the mountains. They couldn't even understand how a mountain guide can be in Turkey. But the love to nature, the love to what we are doing, it's taken us to this place, and that's why maybe we met Giray on the mountains, not somewhere else.
Checking out this east-facing ridgeline out there. Yesterday it was super crusty, but today it's getting the sun, so it might be nice. We did our column test. We have really good cohesion. The general consensus there is that skiing would be absolutely fine.
When I toured up the Shark's Fin with Ercan, I was just standing up there in that big expanse, sharing that with him. It was just a holy moment, like this is happening.
Just made it to the summit with my Turkish brother.
Opa!
Yes, sir.
All my dreams as a kid occurred in Europe or out west in America. And now to think that 20 years down the line from being a young skier in Bristol, that I'd be filming a ski movie in Türkiye. Like, what can be better than doing that together with a Turkish brother?
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
With this place, Ovit Mountain, the backcountry culture is being developed, and having people like Giray here would give us a great boost. Seeing someone with the name Giray Dadali doing all these crazy, amazing skiing stuff is making us proud and makes us think maybe we can do that too. Judging by this 1 week, I can tell that Giray can provide a lot to the skiing community in Turkey.
From the heart, I was very proud of him. He's a phenomenal skier, and he's doing his best to use that instrument to interact with Turkish culture very fine and very well.
Growing up in the Turkish society in America, I'd never met anyone like Ercan before. And seeing what he's all about, it opened up this whole doorway into what being Turkish could be. When I was coming up with this idea of skiing in Türkiye, it was really important to share skiing with my family. It's always just been something that I tell them about in Türkiye. That's such a core part of my life. But I really wanted to share those moments with them and hopefully transfer it on to future Dadalis. So I brought my cousin Engin abi, his wife Nagan, and daughter Arya over to Kartalkaya to teach them how to ski.
Is it funny, huh? You've never walked on ski shoes before, right? Ski boots.
For a first-timer, skiing has a huge learning curve. It's not something that you can just hop onto and go. To have family or friends that can pass it on is super important to continuing the sport. That's typically how we get into things, is people like us taking us for those new experiences. Arya was doing great. She was catching on, smiling, having a good time, and then we went up the hill just a little bit too far, and she gained too much speed, and all of her progress was done. She took it to the sidelines for a while and went back in her shell.
Try your eyes up. 1 foot, 1 foot.
For a while, we actually took my cousin's wife, Nagan, skiing and tried to teach her.
Çok güzel, çok güzel. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes! Güzel, güzel.
When Arya saw her mother having fun, it slowly crept into Arya that like, okay, I want to get back out there. Seeing Arya light up while skiing with her was awesome. Just an amazing moment to be able to share that joy with someone else in your family, someone who's never done that before.
Well, I'm proud of my daughter and I'm proud of my cousin here. I think that we're raising another professional skier Dadali in the family.
Are there more ski vacations in the future?
We'll ask her about that. Arya Lena, would you like to ski sometime later? Oh, I think that's a thumbs up. Yeah.
Coming from a family of not that many skiers and knowing that none of my family in Türkiye skis, like I just opened up their world to a whole new way to experience it, maybe travel the world, see things through skiing, and most of all, a new way to smile.
Just rolled out of bed, opened up the windows, and we got blue today. It's been 3 days of nonstop fog, living inside of a ping pong ball, and we took a gamble yesterday. It paid off. This is what we woke up to. We could finally see this mountain.
We had heard at Ovit that there was a bit of a freeride scene over at Kartalkaya Resort. When we showed up, they had an airbag jump contest happening. What an amazing experience to get to see the grassroots of the freeride scene and culture just happening in front of my eyes. The next day, I recognized some of the local riders from the competition, and we're lucky enough to go out and ride with them.
Amazing, bro. That's legit.
Riding the resort with these locals reminded me of when the pro skier Dave Crichton skied in my backyard. This is me standing there, and Dave Crichton, pro skier. I worshipped him as a skier, and to have him in our backyard, just mind-blowing. Like, why is he here? Of all the places he could be, he chose to come there to Bristol, New York, and ski with us. Having him choose to visit us was incredibly validating. It just shows that you matter. That's the biggest thing out there, is just for someone to care. Felt like the same there at Kartalkaya with him. You know, I hope that it made them feel like their place is special and on the map. Of all the places that I could be riding, that day, Kartalkaya was the best place in the world to ski. While we were at Ovit Mountain Lodge, there were these Patron snowboards hanging up on the ceiling there with the coolest artwork. And we asked about that. And Yiğit said, oh, it's my friend Pinar. She's this artist in Istanbul. You guys have to meet her. On our final days of the trip, we were lucky enough to have our schedules align where we could visit Pinar's studio in Istanbul.
I knew I wanted to be an artist from the young age, like when I was 16, but my parents wouldn't allow me just studying fine arts. So I decided to study graphic design instead. That's more like a proper job. Now, finally, in the last pandemic, I decided that I quit and I started selling art, and I saw like people I don't know buying my stuff. And I realized, wow, okay, this may go somewhere. So I opened my own online shop. From there, now I have my own studio and my artistic life is going pretty well. I'm happy with it, yeah.
To see another Turkish person go against the grain, and you also, like, as a female in that community, pave the way in like skateboarding, snowboarding, your art, that to me is so much justification in being here in Turkey to discover for myself more like-minded people from that background.
Mm-hmm.
I was truly inspired talking to her. And after that conversation, just left there feeling fulfilled.
We're gonna teach Yiğit how to fly. Weather has been super difficult, so today I'm starting the first Turkish aerials team. Welcome to my site.
I'm Yiğit Knoxville, and this is Jack Ovit.
When Giray first mentioned he wanted to come to Turkey to connect with his past and also with the skiing community here, I wasn't expecting that it would be this rewarding for all of us, himself included.
The evolution of the movie has evolved from being almost like a surface level of what does it mean to be Turkish to what does it mean to feel belonging anywhere in the world? What does it mean to connect to other people? What does it mean to feel a sense of belonging among a community?
This trip to Turkey was a major stepping stone to learn what defines a culture, what makes myself a part of this culture. Is being Turkish eating Turkish foods? Is it speaking the language? Is it playing backgammon and sipping tea? And I think it's so much more than that. For me, I was never gonna fit in. It's just the preconception that I had of a Turkish person. And that's one of the biggest lessons I learned on this. I can go to places like Ovit Mountain where they need to grow this backcountry ski operation, and I can find my way to help them out and truly be myself in that environment.
Here's for the shop.
It's a place where I can participate in the community there. And I think that that's what a lot of people define as being part of a culture, is also being part of a community in that culture. And I've got my community there.
I don't know, Giray. I think I can do it.
What are you gonna try?
The flip?
You're kidding me. You're not gonna try to flip this.
I mean, you made it look so easy. I can do this. I feel like it. Come on. Give me the.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go down and spot you then. Are you sure you got this?
Yeah!
Okay, man, you're one crazy coconut up there.
Okay, Giray, I'm dropping!
Yes! That was crazy! What the?